Hello everyone, good morning. Danielle here from Learn Reiki Philadelphia. I hope you're doing well. If you are new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. And if you're enjoying this from the replay, you are guaranteed to have just as healing a time as if you were here live. If you would like to join me live, go ahead and check out the description box. You can see all the days and times that I go live, same days, same times every week, always on East Coast US time. Thank you so much for being here. The way that we generally do community distance Reiki is during the first roughly half an hour, I'll take healing request and crystal request from the live chat. Together we will build a beautiful crystal grid, and I'll briefly explain Reiki before we go into a half hour where I send you Reiki healing along with the crystal healing. I'll turn down the lights, I'll turn up the music, and you can go ahead and enjoy that time any way that you like, whether that's relaxing, sitting comfortably, doing some yoga, playing some music, journaling, whatever strikes your fancy. So let's go ahead and see what's in the chat. We've got some folks here already. Good morning, everybody. Good morning from Philly. I hope you all are doing great. Let's see some requests. I've picked some crystals for you already. So let's see, I definitely do have ruby, zoisite, and emerald. Hello, future someone. Good morning, heart. I hope you all are doing well. Let's see, yes, I have ruby, zoisite, and emerald. I do have ametrine, fluorite, rhodonite, aquamarine, smoky quartz. Absolutely, all of the above. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna switch right over to the crystal cam. Let's go ahead and just switch that over. Awesome. How about we bring in something really pretty and powerful into the center of this grid? Why not this big, enormous, beautiful twin smoky quartz right here in the middle? We'll start our day there. Yeah. Fantastic. Okay, so let me go ahead and bring the chat back up. It's gloomy and rainy there. It's sunny and getting kind of steamy already. It's very warm in Philly right now. Let's see. Rhodonite, aquamarine. Aquamarine. And got the smoky quartz, ametrine, and fluorite. Fluorite right here. I just have the one piece of ametrine and it's just barely ametrine. So this is the ametrine that I have. So for those unaware, ametrine is basically citrine and amethyst are very, very closely related in terms of how they're formed in the earth. Amethyst with more heat and more time turns into citrine, this sort of brownish orangey color. So often you will find them together or next to each other. There's just a little bit of amethyst in there that you can see that didn't quite get hot enough to turn into citrine underground. So you've got a little bit of both, and that becomes its own beautiful healing stone with elements of both amethyst and citrine and some extra special stuff in there as well. We've got smoky quartz is deeply protective. It also helps to move energy blocks and just kind of moves out some lower, stagnant, less than desirable energy. Like whenever we're evolving and moving towards some kind of positive changes, there's always some old stuff that kind of hangs around that we really want to move along, and smoky quartz can definitely help with that. It can also help with safety and protection during some intuitive pursuits as well. Yeah, that's great. Something to help disconnect the energy of others, also help with the grounding of our bodies and emotions, absolutely. And that would be really helpful for the current astrology, which is bonkers, absolutely bonkers. I'm gonna add in the rhodonite. Rhodonite is excellent for emotional healing. Go ahead and there we go. Excellent for emotional healing, especially just opening our heart to love, feeling lovable, especially after loss. I actually have some crematory jewelry made of rhodonite that I wear, that I'm wearing right now. Lovely stone there. Fluorite is wonderful for calming body and mind. It also supports the teeth and the bones because it is actually fluoride. These octahedrons here, this is how these crystals naturally form. They weren't cut this way. This is how they form. Just as these 2 points here on the Smoky quartz, that's how it naturally forms. You can see crystals that are cut to a certain point. I have those too. You likely do too, but these points are how they naturally grow underground. They have a trigonal crystalline structure, which basically just means that that's the way that they grow. Go, here's some fluorite. Wonderful for calming body and mind, helping the bones and teeth. We have emerald. Emerald I use often for healing tissue. Like if you've got surgery, burns, even rashes to a point. Emerald can really help with tissue healing, but it's also a wonderful heart stone. It can help us to feel a little bit more loved in a more supported and unconditional way, in a way that isn't so much based on how we show up or who we are or how we are, but more of a consistent heart energy, feeling content and empowered in being loved. There we go. As you all know, I love to incorporate the perspective of other folks in the healing world in the crystal spread. I always try to bring in a different author. And today, what did I bring in? Today we have Philip Perma, who is actually really popular in the UK, but not as well known in the US. So this is one of my more favorite books, The Crystal Healer by Philip Perma. And I'm looking at zoisite and aquamarine, and especially ruby zoisite. And I'm like, you know what? I haven't looked up someone else's healing opinion on zoisite in a while. So let's see what Philip would do. Okay. Yeah, very similar to what I do. Basically, he also says it can be useful for diagnosis, like clarity in coming to like a medical diagnosis. Also excellent for the heart, but also really what I use it for is like connecting to the spirit realm, connecting to spiritual guidance. A lot of folks do use it for connection to like mediumship in some ways, and he kind of mentions that too. And it can come in any of these kind of ways where it's more black or more green, and this is a good specimen to see. You can see just hints of red. That's tiny inclusions of ruby, just like the ametrine. They come very close together underground, so you will find hints of ruby often in zoisite. Very intuitive stone. One that really one that really connects with the spirit realm. It helps us connect with, especially if you want to connect with family members who've passed on, things like that, or you feel them close and you want to feel close enough to sort of glean any wisdom or guidance from them. This can be a beautiful stone to help you connect in that way. And amethyst. Also, zoisite is excellent for, like, when you feel kind of lazy and unmotivated. It can kind of help you feel a little bit more motivated, especially with the inclusion of ruby. Ruby is a lot about, it's like a leadership stone. Ruby is very much a leadership stone, so that also helps it. But zoisite all by itself is considered a motivator. And when you have those senses of, I kind of don't want to go anywhere or do anything, we feel just sort of like, why bother? This can be a good stone to help warm the heart and make you feel like there's a purpose, and to help see the purpose that's there, reconnecting with that. And let's see for amethyst. I'm just going to go with how I feel about amethyst. Amethyst is incredible for so many things. It's great for when you're changing perspective or changing direction. It helps us to go with the flow in a big sense. It's a very, to me, it's got a very Sagittarian feel. It's a very like, okay, I'm open to change, I'm going to make some changes, and I'm going to pivot, and I'm going to just sort of allow all of this change that I've elicited to start to manifest and just flow with it. It can be great for that. So let's go ahead and add some aquamarine. Let's see, I feel like this one wants to be there. Okay. And now we're looking for grounding in our own bodies and emotions, absolutely. And helping to disconnect from the energy of others. Let's do that. We have so many stones that can help us disconnect from the energy of others, and we've got a little bit of time to sink into them. Some of them we use fairly often, and some we use a little less often. Let's go ahead and grab some black tourmaline. Black tourmaline helps to kind of push away or repel less than desirable energy, but it's also a great like boundary stone, like energy boundary, not interpersonal boundaries, but energy boundaries. I've made protective like amulets for homes and apartments I've lived in before. I once made a curtain that helped separate our living room from the neighbor's patio in one apartment in South Philly, and it was very, very helpful to kind of just like, you know, not sending any energy there, just putting a boundary that we want our energy in here and no one else's. Can be excellent for that. Another one that can be great for that is tiger's eye. It helps us when we feel like we can't quite tell if it's us, if it's someone else, like what's our energy and what's someone else's, and to make sense of things in a more rational way when it comes to intuition and energy. So it helps to take the intuition and the logic and sort of parse them out and put them into balance. It allows us to see things for what they are, so that if we're getting a little lost in other people's energy, it helps us to see where that's happening. It's also very protective. One that we use often here for that, because it's just frankly perfect for it, is red tiger eye. Red tiger eye is something that can be useful especially in cases where someone's energy is intentionally being directed towards us in any way. And it can really help set those boundaries and be an incredibly strong protector, and just be like, no. It's also great because this deep red color can really help us with grounding and feeling empowered in our bodies and not connecting with others out of fear. Also disconnecting with any fear-based energies that might be directed at us, which can be very ungrounding. Additional to that, sometimes when we're experiencing a bombardment of other people's energy, there can be some things going on with the solar, well, not so much, well, sometimes the solar plexus and sometimes the sacral chakra, even if you're talking, whether you're talking about the actual chakras as energy centers or just what they embody. So the sacral is the center of relationships and how we relate to others, interdependence between people. And solar plexus, the color resonates more with the color yellow than orange. That particular area is our sense of individuality, free will, and who am I? Where do I stop and others begin? So boundaries between these two, especially in the solar plexus. Sometimes when we reaffirm our own sense of self and our own sense of healthy interdependence in the very real world way, it can help support that in the intuitive and energetic way. So I'm going to add some stones to help support the sacral as well as the solar plexus. And to do that, what do we feel like bringing in? I want to use maybe something a little different than normal. Let's go ahead and bring in some sunstone. This one works well with both the sacral and the solar plexus, but especially the solar plexus. It's deeply empowering. Sometimes when we're having issues discovering boundaries or feeling like we need to rely on others when maybe we don't, there could be an issue of confidence. This stone, sunstone, helps us to say, I am expanding my vision of my own potential, what I'm able to do, what I'm able to create, what I'm able to expand my vision of myself to one that I can't quite see right now. I'm open to seeing a brand new version of myself. So I love the sunstone for that. So let's bring that in. It's deeply empowering. And let's bring in some support for the solar plexus as well as the sacral as well. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead with honey calcite. I know we use it a lot, but it just feels like the right stone today. And honey calcite helps us to warm our sense of interdependence and relatedness to others, how we relate, how we interlace, how we have those relationship dynamics in a way that supports a healthy independence. And let's see what else we would like. Let's do some grounding. Sorry about that. Let's do some grounding. Let's bring in some red jasper. Sinus pressure that we haven't used. Yeah, let's see what somebody else feels about that. I know what I use. Let's see what other folks do. We're going to bring in red jasper, but let's see what else we have here. Sinus pressure. Honestly, I use aquamarine for a lot of like sinus and lymphatic stuff. But let's try. Let's see. Sinus problems. Jade and snowflake obsidian. Let's give it a shot. Can't hurt. Snowflake obsidian I absolutely have. That can also be quite grounding and quite lovely for the boundaries, the interpersonal boundaries. So this is snowflake obsidian. It's like black obsidian, but just with these whitish kind of inclusions here. Hi, Korakar. So yeah, this can be great for finding, for doing shadow work, for finding things within ourselves that we're ready to let go of, and it's been indicated here for sinuses. So I'm going to go ahead and add some there. And the other was jade. Which came out yesterday, and I only have these like larger slabs. These were actually displays in my old healing center. So let's go ahead and integrate this. So let's go ahead and bring that in. So we've got some jade in there. Jade comes in every color of the rainbow. And we'll bring in some red jasper for grounding and feeling good and supported in the root chakra. Feeling exactly as supported for who we are and how we are. Helping to quell fear that comes from instability or changing times. Yeah. Oh, I think we've got a beautiful grid today. Thank you so much for the extra requests and support. I think we are good to go. Let's go ahead and get into the healing. So you know the next part. The next part is I suggest a couple of stones that could support the healing today. And you vote. Yeah, you're absolutely welcome, future someone. Glad to. I hope this helps. Let me know. I'm going to go ahead and suggest a couple of stones that might be great and have you vote. And as usual, it usually happens that we end up working with both, but we'll see what happens. So what could help us today? I'm going to say, would we prefer to have some clear quartz? Okay, so we talked about smoky quartz. It helps to move energy. It helps to take the negativity and move it outward. It also helps to support optimal movement of energy. So we have some smoky quartz already. Do we want to add some more smoky quartz? Maybe even some rutilated smoky quartz? Or do we want to bring in some clear quartz? In the form of crystal points, which can help direct the energy and enhance it, like basically take it up a notch and direct it outward to all of us and everyone, and just sort of take this grid to like a higher level. So go ahead and use the chat and let me know if you want some more smoky quartz or if we'd like to add some clear quartz. And while you're doing that, if you haven't already, go ahead and like the stream. It really helps other folks to learn about me. I'm so happy we're not even 3 months into being on YouTube and we've already got 130 some subscribers. Thank you so much. I'm going to go ahead and explain what Reiki is for those who might be new to the concept, and then we'll go into the Reiki sending. Sound great? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and shift over the camera. So I'm Danielle Stimpson. I've been teaching Reiki for about 13 years now. I'm most versed in Usui Reiki. I teach Reiki courses online, and you can learn more about those in the description, as well as excuse me, my social media, my online community Discord, my crystal shop, and all that other good stuff. Reiki, as I work with it in the Usui style, the understanding is that we are all made of energy, we're all interconnected, we all have our own individual energies, and the many things that move energy between us, connecting us and uniting us, are all sort of their own frequencies, for lack of a better term. Reiki, which really translates to spiritually guided life energy, this is the energy that's almost like the fresh, clean water of energy. It's deeply supportive of every function. Our body, mind, and spirit work with it all the time. You already have the spiritually guided energy flowing through you. And Usui's approach was very secular. It wasn't driven or motivated by any one particular religion or worldview, although he was Buddhist. He made it so that, at a time in Japan where you couldn't teach religion, including Buddhism, you could connect your own way of looking at the universe in a very general, supportive, and open kind of way. This particular energy is just thought to be one that supports our greatest, highest good, and that our body, mind, and spirit are already very well versed in using. Our body, mind, and spirit will automatically accept this and start to move out what's ready to move out, and invite this energy in to fill in any gaps, going ahead and making it a lot easier to find a new establishment of balance in the body, mind, spirit areas. So depending on what's going on with you one moment to the next, Reiki can feel very different. It can be very much a physical experience with physical sensations and even an improvement oftentimes of physical symptoms. It can be helpful in the mental, emotional arena, whether you're having strong feelings, moving through feelings, or just being present with your feelings and just sort of being there and seeing how you feel. Or if you're working towards establishing new habits or releasing old ones, new ways of looking at things, it can be helpful for all of that, as well as connecting on the spiritual level, whether that is being open to new ways of experiencing spiritual guidance, intuition, and things like that, or even just deepening a connection that you already have. You can set any intention you want during a Reiki session. You don't have to focus on anything, and you don't have to keep a silent mind. You can, although you can if you want to. During this time, all you need to do is just be open. So feel free to lay down and close your eyes, sit up and relax, or go ahead and combine this time with something else that feels meaningful, whether that's journaling, making music, maybe some stretches or yoga, or maybe any other kind of routine that you have. This is your time to do what works for you and enjoy a little bit of a recalibration and rebalancing in a deeply spiritual but also very calming kind of way. So during this half hour, I will turn down the lights. There will be no strobing of lights or anything like that, but there will be a gentle changing of different colors of lights, as well as I'll turn up the music in the background, and I'll go ahead and just send. At the end of that half hour time, I'll come back, I'll answer any questions that you have in the chat. If you're watching this on the replay, go right ahead and put any questions you have in the comments. I'll do my best to answer them right away. And of course, you can always reach out to me at the social media linked in the description below. I'm also here 5 times a week. This particular event is happening 8 a.m. on a Thursday here in May of 2022. Thank you so much for being here, and whether you're here in the future or here right today with me, either way, Reiki connects over a distance as much as it connects over distances of time. So enjoy your session, and I'm going to go ahead and see what the results of the vote are right now. Okay, so what do we have? Yep, it's both. It's never a bad thing that we end up going like, let's split the difference and do both. But yeah, let's do exactly that. So we'll put some clear quartz points, directing that energy out. This is a rhodonite smoky quartz. Let's see if I can find my other. As you can see, I'm deeply upgrading and rearranging my office, waiting on some more things to come. So thank you for settling with me while I rearrange and feel a little discombobulated. And here is another quartz with rhodons in it. Hey, welcome in, Tales from the Script. Oh my goodness, so much love in the chat. I love this community. Awesome. You make waking up early easy and fun. Even though I couldn't do it last week. Sorry I missed you all. I overslept. Okay, let's go ahead and happy Thursday. Everybody go ahead, get nice and comfortable. Get ready to do whatever it is you want to do during your Reiki session. I'm gonna go ahead and sit back, send some healing, enjoy your session, and I'll see you all in almost a half an hour. invite you now to take a deep breath in and out. You can gently move, stretch, or bend if you feel you need to. Thank you so much for being here with me today. It was an honor and a pleasure to share this healing space with all of you. Feel free to go on about your day or evening, wherever you happen to be. And if you have any questions at all, go ahead and use the chat. Or if you're watching this on the replay, go ahead and use the comments or my social media, and I'll be more than happy to get back to you as soon as possible. Oh, thank you so much, future someone. You also have a wonderful day. You're so welcome. Thank you for being here. And thank you all so much for co-creating this beautiful grid. One of the concepts at the heart of community distance Reiki here is the concept of communal chi. The more people come together with a similar intention, the greater the energy available to support that intention for everyone. Oh, you're so welcome, Heart. And Korakar, absolutely. Thank you for being here. Yeah, it's amazing how interconnected we are, how we tend to have the same and similar intentions and things linking us together. Have a beautiful rest of your day. I know it's supposed to be beautiful here in Philadelphia. And even if it is gray where you are, future someone, I hope it's at least a comfortable gray. I'll be in the chat for several more minutes if you have any questions. But I'm going to go ahead and bring the stream to a close. As a reminder, tomorrow is Friday, and so I will be here twice at 4 p.m. and 8 p.m. East Coast US time, which is Eastern Daylight Time. So this time of year, that's GMT -4. And I'll also be back on Sunday, 8 p.m. East Coast time. Thank you so much again, and have a beautiful rest of your day. And if I don't see you, have a beautiful weekend. And don't forget to take care of yourselves and leave some time for some self-care. I'll see you again soon. Bye for now.